Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have something that I love right here. Look at the shimmer on this. Look at that. You get it kind of low light for that. Look at that. Look at that. This is a SDCB, and that's the stand that actually came with it. Probably so you don't have to lay it flat and get scratches on it or anything. Because the shimmer's nice. It's a 3x3 cube, decent size too. As you can see, as I'm playing with it here and pulling, nothing comes apart on it, right? This is made by Juno. He did the this puzzle that I did a video on. This isn't the same exact copy that I did. This is my copy I have now. You have medium, light, and then darker woods here with a big streak of red in it. Very nice version of the puzzle. So this one's the SDCB that we did a video on. And they're the Disguise series that he did. So there's been two other burrs like this that they get smaller. One's a board burr, and then one's like a little burr, probably about the size of this. He says that this puzzle, this is the first of maybe a series of cubes. He likens it to the second one in this series in difficulty and stuff. This one's still the epic of all those. This one having so many steps and things with it that you've seen on the other video. So still the same series, but this one here, I actually got retail, whereas that one over there, you know, almost $2 grand to get now. It was $600 when it came out. This one was $360 when it came out, and I've seen people make offers of $1,500 and up on these already. So I don't know if it's really worth that much yet. It's probably worth about $1 or so. They've auctioned that much. And look at that. Look how that streak carries through, how the pieces were used together to make that part. And that gets my attention because that, look at that, that moves. They're not one piece. And actually, after playing with it, that's the only move you're going to get. Now, some people unelegantly force their way through that. I don't suggest it. I got lucky finding it. It was the only thing. I was like, what's going on? I went like this. I was turning around, and then you hear that click. My finger pushed it through. It works only upside down. It has to be facing down. Gravity. So gravity, oh, look what it's doing now. It starts sliding apart. And it starts showing you its secrets, like whenever you see on a Juno SD a different wood being circled around something, that's a clue. But it's still not open. We're still, you know, it's doing this. Let's see. Ooh, cool. It looks like a button, not depressed. And that's some kind of screw hole. And then over here, look what we get, a tool. And it has a screw itself. It's magnetized in. Nice little piece here. So let's go back to our screw hole. Seems straightforward, right? Let's screw this in. All right. And then you can kind of pull that first cube out. Don't pull too hard against this. This piece right here will slide out. It's not glued in. Every once in a while, I like to just kind of do that. And it has a big magnet on it. Look at that. It sticks on that side. But we got a cube. This is actually a tool. A tool I may argue later is used a bit much in this one. But you see in there, look at that. You got your little, these are the things holding it. They're like grippers that right now just kind of sit there. But when they're this way, oh, I guess they move. That's a cool thing. But now that the cube is out, this thing can actually move a little bit more, right? And what is it showing us? It's showing us the bottom of the flipper, more grooving. It's pinned in, obviously, so this cube isn't going to just fall apart. And then we have this button here. Well, if you take the cube, you'll realize that this is like kind of magnetic. See that? So if you pop it up, I learned this by playing around, but I'll tell you right now, there's two buttons, and they alternate. there's a rod going between them, and when you pop one up, it's allowed to move. So we're going to move the rod from this button to this one. So we want it to kind of come down. And you'll know it's in place because when you push, see, it doesn't want to go back down. So we remove that, and you see this thing getting loose. When we squeeze it now, this comes free. And let's look at it. We got that, hey, I'm a tool use spot there, and then we have a tool here. His tools are always jar. It gives them a lot longer lifespan because they get used a lot, and probably until you really solve it and figure it out, they get used kind of heavily too. We got a pin and some grooving here, and this piece, and it's light. You can tap it. It doesn't seem to have anything going on other than this. We also have two other pieces. The cube is apart. This is our 2-button deal, and again we have something highlighted here. I noticed with this, because I check everything with the magnet, that see, it's repelling it there. So and then you got some dowels, pins, oh, and then looks like we got ourselves a box here, and this, and I noticed that this comes down, but you can't like pull on. It doesn't seem elegant to do that. And we know better with Juno's puzzles. And then this one here, it doesn't seem to have much going on at all. This was the piece holding with the tool in it. That told me something's up, and 2 other clues as well, because look, when you look at this side of this pin on this guy here, it's a dowel rod. But when you look here, it's something inset. And when you move this wheel, or I'm moving this piece here that it's connected to, it's not moving. See? Maybe a little friction there, but see? Loose, it doesn't have friction. I push and it does. That comes free. And this magnet, you'll hear it. Hear that? It only works upside down. The magnet's weak enough, and this is in there enough that it actually takes gravity to work. See? So I wanted to show you it sliding out, but it's hard to get on camera. This piece fell out. I'll tell you right now, this is nothing. This groove has something to do with locking the cube in. Well, that's cool. And then we also got this guy out. We got a little tool with a little rod on the end. Imagine where that goes. Well, first, let's look at what we have here. We got that out. We got this piece out. This, you know, doesn't seem to have anything. It doesn't come apart. I think we're done with it. So we'll set it aside for now, take it out of the picture, all the things we don't think we need. And then we have these two. This one here, we think is the box, so that's probably gonna be our last thing to work on. We need to get a tool out of there, and this is the rod thing. So let's do that. We'll push the rod, and nothing happens. I actually figured this one out because there's like a spring here. See that? There's resistance. It's not actually a spring, it's magnets. He doesn't put, I don't think there's any springs in this one. They don't have the same life as magnets. See how that's not moving out now? I realize that this thing does come free. I'd read that some people use their fingernails to get that out. No, that's not how it goes. I actually deduced that that was a magnet sliding on a track there, and that we were moving it out of the way to allow this more freedom to come loose. It reminded me of another puzzle out there, which I won't name to not spoil anything, but it definitely reminded me of that puzzle. So we find out that we need some kind of magnet probably to pull this up. So let's go here. Oh, this thing's super repellent. Look at that. Yeah, it doesn't like this magnet. We could probably use the back of it. Push in. That doesn't do it either. We have to find a strong magnet. So we can take this all around and see if there's a hidden magnet. And the idea of a hidden magnet's kind of a funny one. But in reality, it is a thing. Whoa, goodness gracious, we want to hit it like that. We are going to check all over. This thing doesn't have anything but that one right there, it seems. And even then, it doesn't, yeah, that's like, it's got to go through that then. Like, I tried to think about how I could get that, but they do not interchange in a way to get that magnet over this one, this tool. So that leaves me this one. And I remembered this. and then I was using a magnet to make these things move. So there has to be some kind of magnet down in here. And remember, it repels, right? That does no good. So maybe the opposite side of this, right? Let's try it. Because we need, obviously, the opposite magnet, right? But it's not even reaching through the wood here. And that's when I found this. And it's the big secret of this puzzle. The really cool aha, the main thing to figure out is that there's a magnet in here, repelling here, making this stuff work, but it's also on a track. It can slide, and we're gonna repel it with this magnet. And when we do, this one can now stick. I'm not quite sure what it's sticking to, but now the magnet is down here. So if we were to push this in now, it actually sticks. It actually, look at that. Now we just push the button, pull up, and I was right, there's a magnet on a track there, and it pulls the tool out. And we already got it in hand. We see the hole here. We knew the screw here. I wasn't strong enough with my fingertips to move it. Let's go ahead and the brass tip on this tool is really nice. And if you do that, nothing, but if you pull out and turn, you get this. Now, I would immediately then unscrew and let that fall back down in, because leaving that in makes shutting this really hard. And there's a lot of people that, had issues with that. Now, you get the Juno Hanko. Very cool. I think there is a spring. Like I said, when I mentioned earlier, there may be, I believe this may be a spring too. It might be a magnet versus magnet inside, but I don't believe it's magnetic. So springs here, so be gentle with it. And if you heard that click after I removed the magnet, that was that moving back into place. You want to make sure you hear that. I actually reset it once without it that way, and I thought, well, that's a one-time trick. I'm a little let down, but then I realized, it does go back. You might have to tap it. And here's our prize. Sorry, just left it. I guess these are all in different colors. I've got a purple and yellow Los Angeles Lakers version. And there we go. And that's your prize. Let's get it back in there. You're going to go ahead and just get this little groove in here in. Push this, get it, and make sure it's all the way up to the edge here. Like even. That makes it pushing it down really easy. This part, because of this magnet being back, is reset. The beauty of Juno's puzzles, again, is that they all are one-way locks. So you can just put everything back like that. Come over here, get our little flipper here. Go ahead and, oh, no, I did it upside down. Push this through the hole, and it locks back in. We got that. And put away our screwdriver. Now, putting it back together is a bit of a puzzle in itself, too. So the first thing you'll want to remember is that these two flippers were across from each other, and they were on the same angles. So that's telling you that they go like that, and that's, part of the cube, right? And then just by looking at it, you can see here that, oh, nope, this one. You can see it, but it's not right. This here is the way all of it goes. But you can't get this over this. This thing doesn't want to go under the pin. So here's how you do it. You have to have it completely out for this pin here to go under, right? But it won't cross this button. So you got to do your button work while it's pushed like this and get this one up, that one down. So again, push that up, shake it so the pin comes down until this is hard, and that should fall right down. Open it up so you can get this into the groove. Oops. Get in the groove. I can't remember the song now. Now it's not going to go in because of this guy in the way, right? So we need to now, while it's on the track, open it, use this to lock this one back in place. So we're going to go this way, shake it until this one clicks back in. And then we open, close, and then look for the magnet right there. And you're going to put the magnet right back like that, and it goes swoop. And you can also remember that on my copy, the grain is there. And you are reset. I count it as about 10 moves, and it does come apart into 10 things, including the prize. So in my opinion, it's about half the journey of SDBBM, but it's also like half the price. That one was 600, this was 360, this is a year later. Inflation. A lot of people have voted this one as their favorite over the other. SDBBM was the unicorn, the grail. I mean, there's a bunch with Juno, like Slam Car and all that, SDBBB. All of them are unicorns. But a lot of people felt that this one had the best puzzling. And to be fair, without spoiling anything, SDBBM did have a part that you could, bypass, and it was more straightforward. The final trick in it was really tricky, but the penultimate trick in this one is pretty tricky too. That hidden magnet's really cool. This as a first step, I think it's awesome. The fact that it goes swoop up in there is fun. This thing's fun to take apart. It's not going to take you forever to like take it apart, put it back together. It's nice to handle. It's that cube. It reminds me of Daedalus here. It's a little bit bigger. Maybe even more so Super Cubey, which this isn't a spoiler. The thing's supposed to shift panels. They're the exact same size. So great for the handling in the hands, and beautiful as well. This is a puzzle I won't be letting go of anytime soon. I'm hoping that there's 3 of them and I can make the whole set. If this is the only one and one day I end up getting like a new one from him or something else, or I don't want to do a full collection, then maybe. But I love me some cubes. I love SD, and I love some mahogany too. Just the shimmer per cost ratio on it's really nice. And this is an awesome cube. If this is kind of like the one I talked about back in the day, you get a friend over, they can get past the Lotus, maybe a really tricky packing puzzle like Euclid or something, then you let them try this because they're up for it at that point. So this is the SDCB Sequential Discovery Cubed Box by Juno, and this is how you get in and out of one. And I will rate this one honestly like 93, 94%. This is one of my favorite puzzles, and will be. I would say this is right there, honestly above Turtle Trip, because it's wood. Still has the same kind of fun factor and steps type situation. So I would say go get you one, but only if you want to spend some money, obviously. So this is the SDCB. That is my thoughts on it, and you guys have a great one. Thanks.